Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're embarking on a really fascinating exploration. We're looking into awareness, identity, the nature of being itself, really.
Mm-hmm. Deep stuff.
Absolutely. We're comparing two, well, pretty profound concepts: general subjective continuity, GSC for short, and the early Buddhist teaching of dependent origination.
Paṭicca-samuppāda.
Exactly. And our mission here, actually inspired by some great points you, our listener, brought up, is to kind of cut through the jargon, you know?
Get past the abstract language.
Right. Uncover the simple, potent truths hiding in plain sight within these philosophies.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, so let's unpack this. General subjective continuity first, GSC. It's a naturalistic theory proposing that subjective awareness, you know, that raw feeling of being present.
That first-person experience.
Yeah, that it continues, but generically across different conscious beings. Now, it's really important to stress, this isn't about your personal identity, not your memories or personality carrying on after death.
No soul or anything like that.
No. Instead, GSC suggests the basic structure of awareness itself reoccurs. It arises from physical systems. So like the capacity for consciousness endures, maybe, not the specific content.
Right. And what's fascinating here is how it kind of echoes, but also differs from dependent origination in early Buddhism.
Paṭicca-samuppāda.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's this really foundational teaching about how everything, perception, feeling, craving, all of it arises because of specific conditions. It's like a map almost.
A map of suffering,
Yeah.
and how the self emerges.
Exactly. How suffering and our sense of self come about.
Yeah.
It famously says, you know, when this is, that is, when this arises, that arises, when this ceases, that ceases.
Cause and effect, essentially.
Very much so. And crucially, it denies a permanent, unchanging self. It says what we call self is just this stream of conditioned aggregates, things like form, feelings, perceptions, all constantly changing.
Okay, so GSC talks about a recurring structure of awareness. Dependent origination describes consciousness as this conditioned event. Both seem to be saying there's no fixed, lasting me. They reject that idea. They see awareness more as a process, maybe, or a structure, not something you personally own forever.
Exactly. And this is where your insight was so helpful. You pointed out that maybe we overcomplicate these things sometimes.
Metaphysical inflation.
That's the phrase you used, yeah.
Yeah.
Where abstract language can kind of obscure what might be, well, just how things work, simply the reality of it.
Yeah, that really hit home. It made us look again at some statements that sound deep, but maybe risk becoming a bit ungrounded if we're not careful.
Like which ones?
Well, take this idea. So when you die, your awareness ends. But somewhere else, awareness begins. Not your awareness, just awareness, the fact of being present.
Ah, right.
You pointed out, quite rightly, I think, that awareness is always personal, isn't it? It's always happening for someone or as someone, even if that someone is just a temporary configuration.
There isn't some kind of impersonal awareness soup floating around.
Exactly. It's always instantiated. So that idea of just awareness beginning somewhere else, it feels a bit fuzzy.
It's a crucial distinction, I agree. And it connects back to the Buddhist view, too. In the early texts, consciousness viññā, it's not treated as some entity you can pass around.
Not a substance.
No. It's a conditioned event, always specific. It arises from contact, like the eye meeting a form, the ear hearing a sound. It needs conditions.
Like a functioning mind and body.
Primarily, yes. A functioning psychophysical system. So it's not transferable because it's not a thing. It's more like a happening, a process.
Like a flame on a candle.
That's a good analogy, yeah. The flame requires the wick, the wax, the oxygen. When the wick burns out, that specific flame ceases. It doesn't jump somewhere else.
But a new flame could be lit on another candle.
Exactly. If the conditions new wick, new wax are present. And maybe that's closer to the GSC idea. The potential for the structure, the potential for a flame reoccurs, but it's a new instance.
Right. And then there was a other point you challenged about the phrase, there is no thing doing the comprehending. There is only comprehending happening. You argued, look, something has to comprehend, the mind does. If there's no mind, there's no awareness. Probably no person either.
Yeah, that pushback is important. It grounds the idea.
You felt that talk of reinstantiation was maybe just words. Saying words when it just means two different people or two different moments of being aware.
Well, I think early Buddhism wouldn't disagree that the mind comprehends. The point isn't to deny the mind itself. It's denying a fixed, independent entity, like a little CEO, sitting behind the mind, owning the awareness.
Ah, okay. So it's shifting from thinking about a thing, an entity.
To thinking about a process, a dynamic flow. The mind is the comprehending, but it's this constantly changing stream of conditioned events, not a static possessor.
So your critique helps bring it back to like phenomenological precision. Awareness needs the conditions: brain, body, nervous system.
Precisely. When those conditions cease, that specific personal instance of awareness ceases. Full stop. What we might call reinstantiation, as you suggested, is really just the arising of a new separate instance of awareness, each one personal to the conditions that make it happen.
So what does this boil down to for you listening? We've sort of peeled back these layers of abstraction, helped by your clear thinking, and we find this reality that's profound, sure, but also remarkably simple in a way. Awareness is a conditioned event. It happens.
It's always personal when it happens.
Yes, personal in its manifestation, but you don't truly own it like some fixed thing you possess forever. It arises when the conditions are right.
When it ceases, when they dissolve.
Yeah.
And that perspective, as you pointed out, can lead to a kind of radical humility, realizing you don't own your awareness or your suffering or even your future in some ultimate fixed sense.
That's a very grounded understanding of self, isn't it?
I think so. Less metaphysical baggage.
So this deep dive leaves us with a thought for you. If these profound truths about existence, about awareness, about identity are maybe at their core just how things work once you strip away that metaphysical inflation, what other complex ideas in your life might you be overthinking? What simple, powerful realities are just waiting there for your clear perception?